CCFM 107.5.
We're talking to WISA, which stands for Water Institute of Southern Africa, and they're hosting their biennial conference and exhibition in Cape Town from the 24th until the 27th of June 2018. And on the line, I have the man who knows so much about WISA. Good afternoon, Jason.
Hi, good afternoon, and good afternoon to the listeners.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, Jason is the chairman of the Technical Committee for the Water Institute of Southern Africa for 2018. Jason, before we get into exactly what you guys are hosting come the 24th until the 27th of June, can you please tell us more about who is WISA as well as what you guys do?
Sure. So WISA, as you said, the Water Institute of Southern Africa, is a membership body, volunteer membership body, which represents basically the majority of the water sector within Southern Africa, and it's made up of a number of professionals across different disciplines within the water sector, and WISA itself is also made up of a number of different divisions. If we're talking about the water sector, there are about 30 plus different types of sectors or disciplines or fields that we can go into. So we have everything from sort of, your science and your research division, everything to your desalination and understanding the use of membranes, and to your groundwater and mines. So it covers a broad spectrum of the water sector. And as a membership body, we get together every 2 years, and this is our big conference where we come together to discuss what are some of the issues challenging the sector, and what is some of the exciting research that's coming through that we as a sector can engage with and use as part of our work.
I'm sure you guys work with big people, and when I say big people, I mean like people who are obviously in the water industry. So now, who is WISA working with when it comes to water management authorities in order for you guys to address the water challenges across the country?
So WISA as a membership body and a voluntary membership body at that, we work very closely and have a good working relationship with the Department of Water and Sanitation. Obviously, that's the national department across the country, and a lot of the officials that work within the department are also WISA members. So it's from the national department to different provincial departments, so different provincial governments, all the way down to your local government level. So the City of Cape Town is a patron member of WISA, so it joined when WISA was initially started. And what this allows us to do is it's through our membership network and the membership platforms that we have. We've also initiated a volunteer portal where we're calling on our different membership members to look at for the possibility of volunteering their time and engaging with the different officials at the different levels to see how best WISA can assist where possible. But other than that, we try our best to support the initiatives that's being led by the mandated departments and officials in that space.
Okay, awesome. So now the conference that you guys will be hosting this year, how is it going to contribute to the water debate?
I think quite importantly, there's never really been a more exciting time to be in the water sector. And that might sound a bit ironic given that we're in a bit of crisis here in Cape Town, but I think people would also understand that the situation across the country is fairly dire when it comes to our water resources. And this given that I think there's a great awareness around the fact that South Africa is sort of a fairly semi-arid country. And what this requires from the water sector and the members that are part of our organization is it's a realization that we have to change direction a little bit. We could be criticized for maybe being a little bit inward focused. So often these events are kind of the same group of people are coming together, and so the theme of the conference is trying to change that with breaking barriers and connecting ideas. We're trying to see how do we need to respond to these new challenges. People in Cape Town are going to be very familiar with the term new normal. And it's really much as a sector and as a membership body that's representative of that sector. How do we address the new normal and how do we drive for this change that needs to happen? Because I think water, it's often seen as a very engineering-focused type of sector, which is good. And of course, we need these skills, and the more skilled engineers, the better to be able to address key issues when it comes to hard engineering. But what about the so-called, in this context, the soft skills? your social science elements, your ecological elements. When it comes to the water within the urban development space, it's becoming a more crucial factor, and specifically how this links to economic growth. So we've got to see water in a bigger context, and it's how do we bring all these different ideas together.
I want to ask for your opinion. Why do you think the Southern African region is so challenged and vulnerable when it comes to water supply?
I think there's a number of key factors, but I think generally South Africa and the Southern African region is known and has been known as a semi-arid region in terms of, if you just look at our annual rainfall, and you compare that to a number of different countries across the world, we're sitting at about between 37 and number 40 in the world in terms of our cumulative rainfall. When you start coupling that with elements of urban growth or population growth, and you couple that with sort of the water needs for different economic sectors such as mining and agriculture, and then you throw elements of what are we trying to understand when it comes to climate change into the mix. And what we're seeing is this greater level of uncertainty, which is becoming more of a problem. But with that problem, there comes an opportunity, because what we're seeing is that the current models and systems that we now have, they're not responding as well as what we need them to in terms of this new arena of water management with all these different things going on. So we need to start bringing in a greater variety of skills and disciplines to be able to respond to that.
Okay. Now, you guys have a central theme, which is breaking barriers, connecting ideas. Can you perhaps tell us what are you guys hoping to achieve with the theme, as well as, in closing, the long-term solution that you guys are part of?
Sure. So, as I've mentioned before, water has often kind of been this single-oriented focus on engineering, but we need to be able to promote this notion of working across disciplines to the point where we can also share a common language between the different disciplines to be able to work effectively together. So how do we start promoting this idea of transdisciplinarity within the water sector itself and working outside of our comfort zone, as it were. And so this is really, for us, is the kind of starting point of this sort of process or this journey that we need to go on. And linked to that as well, and linked to this opportunity, is also how does the water sector better engage with the public? And I think we've seen that in terms of a lot of the public responses to different drought areas across the country, and specifically Cape Town as well. And so it's how do we start initiating these new discussions and conversations, and be able to, and getting into this environment where we're able to learn from each other and stimulate ideas and take those ideas into action. And I think that is what the real value that a conference such as WISA every 2 years offers us. And that's what we hope to achieve. It's to drive real change going forward.
Okay, thank you so much. Jason, where can people find you if they want to get in contact with WISA?
So we have a conference website, and that's www.wisa2018.org.za. And that's got all the details on the conference. We've actually got, if anybody's been doing some really exciting research and got some new ideas that they're just testing with some new data, we've got a session that's open for that at the moment. But otherwise, they can also find us on Twitter as an organization, and that's, if they just look at, I think it's at Water Institute SA. And then the website for our organization is also fairly simple. It's just www.wisa.org.za.
Okay, thank you so much. We're going to leave it there. Jason Mingo, thank you very much for speaking to us this afternoon, and also for educating us.
Thanks very much.
CCFM 107.5.